It's time for us to wake up. I don't mean that in the usual way. When people say wake up, it really means believe what I believe. Stop believing what you believe and start believing what I believe. That's not what I mean when I say it's time for us to wake up. I mean it's time for us to remember who we are. Remember our strength and dignity. And that's been beaten out of us since day one on this planet. And when we lose touch with that strength and basic indestructible dignity that comes from our essence, that is who we are, when we lose touch with that, we go shopping for a replacement. We literally go shopping for products as one type of replacement, or we go shopping for a partner who we're hoping is going to give us back our dignity, but they can't, because no one can. In fact, they've probably lost their dignity too. But we also go shopping for our dignity on the spiritual realm, because we are spiritual beings. We've got one foot in the physical dimension, and we've got a whole huge part of us that is a spiritual being. And that's right here, right now. We are a spiritual being. We're looking through a human body into the physical dimension, but behind that looking is a soul, is a spirit. And that spirit, when it becomes convinced that its dignity is lost, that it doesn't have any dignity, I'm just calling it dignity, but we can call it self, energy, strength. There's a lot of things we can call it, but it's the same thing. When we lose touch with our core inherent beauty and goodness and dignity, we feel empty. We feel lost. We've literally lost our compass in this jungle of a planet, and we're wandering around looking for our compass. And when we open up like that, when we start looking for someone to tell us what to do and give us direction in our lives, then on a spiritual dimension, we have just invited God knows what to come in and play CEO in our mind. That is exactly how we allow negative spiritual entities to play surrogate self for us. In that very spot where we don't feel ourselves is where a negative influence can come in and start telling us things. And we'll believe them. And we'll follow that advice. And our lives will go off course. And we'll become more and more unhappy. So part of clearing negative entities is, yes, it's about calling in the divine light, calling in God, calling in that sacred energy. But again, we have to be careful not to make that another surrogate for ourselves, because it's not meant to be a surrogate for our self energy. God gave us a self for a reason. He gave it to us, and it's inside of us. It is us. So yes, we can call in the divine, but if we're calling in the divine because we're not feeling ourselves, then there's a problem, because the divine isn't a replacement for ourselves. That's why the divine gave us ourselves. It's like a wealthy parent who gives us our inheritance, but instead of us claiming the inheritance, we just keep asking the parent for more money. They've given us $1 million, it's in a bank account, but we're ignoring it, or we've forgotten that we have it. And so we keep looking to the parent for more money instead of using the money they've already given us. So when we're looking for our dignity and our goodness and our joy and our humor in God, we have to make sure we're not denying it, that it's already here in us also. We have to start right here with what's in us. And from that place, we connect with God. And we're not connecting with God because we're begging for something. We're connecting with God out of love, out of recognition for our connection that is unbreakable and that is already here. So this is about us coming back to who we are and claiming it. And then who's going to want to listen to little voices whispering in our mind, hey, go down this dark path, go down this one, go do that thing that makes you miserable again. Go do that thing that makes you feel shitty about yourself again. Keep engaging in behaviors that make you unhappy. Keep refusing to claim the beauty of life and the goodness of your life right now, exactly as it is. Not how it would be if only I could have this car or this clothing or this kind of love from some. No, right now how it is. There's a core dignity that never goes away because it can't. Because it's us. We have to claim that. Then see if negative things get in our mind and get behind the wheel of our lives and start driving us around. And I want to say one last thing. How did we lose touch with ourselves? In 1899 or whenever it was, some dude invented the cotton gin, which separates the seeds from the cotton, and it transformed the whole industry and made America an economic powerhouse because we could manufacture cotton. Well, there's another machine they built that it separates the self from our consciousness, from our psychology. It teaches us to lose touch with ourselves. And that machine is called the public school system. I mean, it's also in the media. It's also coming from all over the place. It's also coming from even from our own parents who were taught to do the same thing, who were conditioned to give up their self to some degree, everyone to a different degree or in different aspects of ourself. But that machine that makes us lose touch with ourselves is called the public school system. That's the primary place. And I'm not saying the teachers know that they're doing this. No, it was done to them. And they're undoubtedly trying their best not to do that. And some of them actually are not doing that. Some teachers out there, you might have had one in your school, so that teacher that stood out because when you were in his class or her class, you felt good about yourself. You felt empowered and stronger and smarter and gooder. I know that's not a word, but it is. I'm making it a word. You felt gooder in their class. Some of you have not had even one teacher like that. Some of you might have had more than one. But I'm hoping most of us had at least one teacher like that. And then there was those teachers that you just felt miserable. You felt stupid. You felt afraid to speak, afraid to be who you are. And that was year after year after year that you were in that environment. And that's how they separated the seed from the cotton in you. They made you forget yourself. The basic, inherent, indestructible dignity and brilliance of yourself. And I don't just mean brilliance like IQ. I mean brilliance in every possible way. That's who you are, and we need to wake up and get it back.